On Tuesday in Toronto, the weather forecasts to feel like -14°C with 20 km/h wind gusts. Hardly baseball weather. Still, that's the day Canada will begin its journey towards a third straight Pan Am gold medal in baseball. Thankfully, the qualifying tournament takes place across 2 cities in Brazil, where the weather promises to be more fit for the sport. 8 teams will participate in the qualifier, with the top 4 advancing to the Pan Ams in Lima, Peru, beginning July 26. Canada, ranked 10th internationally, is grouped with No. 9 Venezuela, number 13 Panama and number 14 Colombia. Canada's three-peat quest begins on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time against Panama. The other group includes Mexico, ranked 6th, the Dominican Republic, 12th, Nicaragua, 15th, and Brazil, 17th. The top 2 teams from each group earn a spot in the semifinals, and a place in Peru. It's also worth noting that while baseball is returning to the Olympics in 2020, the Pan Am Games bear no significance. For that reason, the United States chose to sit this cycle out in preparation. Finding a way. Of course, Canada's inclusion in a tournament with 7 warm weather countries presents an immediate disadvantage. Still, manager Ernie Witt is optimistic. The players that we're bringing in haven't played since last September, and now we're coming in and competing to qualify where a lot of the other teams have been playing winter ball, said Witt. So they're gonna be in better shape than we are, but we seem like we always find a way of coming out and doing well. One disadvantage shared by all countries is the placement of the tournament relative to the MLB season. Pitchers and catchers begin reporting to spring training on Feb. 11. The tournament ends 8 days before. The timing of it is terrible, you know. Everyone's just getting ready for spring training, and now we have to try to go out and compete and try to qualify. It's tough, said Witt. Come July, the decision will be made even tougher for players on the fringes of the MLB who are forced to choose between their country and their career. Country or career? Toronto Blue Jays outfielder Dalton Pompey is committed to playing in Brazil, but should Canada advance to the real dance, he likely wouldn't be able to attend. I would love to, but we'll see where I'm at in terms of the season, said Pompey. Obviously I have a career that I have to honor and I have to worry about first. It's a decision Pompey has wrestled with before. In 2017, Pompey competed for Canada in the World Baseball Classic, but suffered a concussion sliding into second base. Pompey, right, competed for Canada at the 2017 World Baseball Classic. John wrote the Associated Press. The outfielder ended up playing just 13 minor league games in the ensuing season. But he maintains that playing for his country is important. They gave me the opportunities that I have now in sports. Anytime I get the opportunity to play I will, and obviously I love Canada. I love living in Toronto. I love everything about being Canadian. So anytime I get the opportunity I take that 100%, said Pompey. Vying for Vlad. Joining Pompey on the roster will be former Blue Jay Michael Saunders, as well as former Major Leaguers Adam Loewen, Scott Richmond, Philip Eoman, Chris LaRue, for Bachelor Canada fame, and Dustin Mulligan. Tristan Pompey, Dalton's younger brother and a top prospect in the Miami Marlins organization, will also play. Missing from the roster are any current players on the 25-man roster of an MLB club, as well as the MLB's top prospect, Montreal-born, Dominican Republic-bred Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Is Baseball Canada trying to court the future phenom? We would love for him to play, but I don't think his dad would allow it, said Witt. I think he'll probably be committed with the Dominican. But he would be a great ball player on our club. Hall of Fame eligible Larry Walker will join Witt on the coaching staff, though Walker says his coaching credentials aren't quite there. I've admitted a million times, I'm not the greatest coach. You can have a really terrible hitter that can tell you how to hit and he's really good at it, and you can have a really good hitter that has no idea to communicate that to a player. And I'm the latter of the two, said Walker. I did good in my career, but I have trouble relaying to somebody on how I went about it every day. Walker is likely underselling himself. He was part of the coaching staff that earned gold at the last 2 Pan Am Games. Full roster. Pitchers: Philippe Oman, Gatineau, K. Andrew Case, St. John, NB, Jay Johnson, Sussex Corner, NB, Ryan Kellogg, Whitby, ONT, Chris LaRue, Mississauga, ONT, Adam Lowen, Surrey, BC, Dustin Mulligan, Regina, Jared Mortensen, Abbotsford, BC, Jasveer Ricard, Brampton, ONT, Dylan Rowe, Garson, ONT, Scott Richmond, Vancouver, Evan Rootgage, Windsor, ONT, Catchers: Kellen Deglan, Langley, BC, Dustin Houle, Penticton, BC, Andy Yege, Toronto, Infielders: West Darville, Richmond, BC, Jesse Hodges, Victoria, Otto Lopez, Montreal, Daniel Pinero, Toronto, Eric Wood, Oshawa, ONT, Outfielders: Dalton Pompey, Mississauga, ONT, Tristan Pompey, Mississauga, ONT, Jacob Robson, Windsor, ONT, Michael Saunders, Victoria.